Hey, Kaiba. Kaiba. It's time to celebrate. You know what we're celebrating? Kaiba? Do you know what we're celebrating? There's over 50 humans who watch us on the YouTube. Over 50. Yeah, that's a lot. Isn't that great? You know what else is great? Celebrating. Then you went to Timmy. They got bakings for you. Yummy, yummy bacon. You're on the cord, baby. Thank you. I put the bacons over here. Wake them up for you. My hands are all real gross. There you go. The cord so you can get around. We also have cookies. Good afternoon, magic players and card collectors of all kinds. Welcome back to the channel. I apologize for being a little muted. It's not that I'm not excited. I'm actually very, very excited about being able to say that we have 50 subscribers. I love that. I'm very, very happy about that. No, the thing is, it's just one of those days where it's hard to record. And while you guys are distracted briefly, I'm going to find some hand sanitizer so I can get that bacon grease off before we dive into the awesomeness of what we're going to open today. As my thank you to, I guess, myself, and also to you guys, because I'm very grateful for all you guys who've tuned into my channel so far, I want to do some shoutouts, and I want to open something cool, I said. And for me, I decided something cool that wouldn't be like something random, because I have to save all the random stuff that I've bought for random Saturdays. I've got like 4 different things planned out for different Saturdays. No, I think 6 different things now planned out for Saturdays. So I didn't want any of those things to be on the channel for you guys on this. And since we've all been enjoying and loving Tarkir, I figured, what the heck? Let's go for one of these. So today, that's what we're going to open on this channel. And while we open that, I'm going to shout out some channels that I really like watching. And hopefully maybe a few of you guys will go watch some of those other channels. Maybe some of those channels will send some people my way. And we'll all grow as a giant community. Empty box. First off, we have some really cool artwork. Always gotta take time to appreciate the artwork. Both sides? No. Always take a little time to appreciate the artwork. We'll put that artwork over here. We got ourselves a beautiful box. Ooh, that's actually taking up a lot of space. I need to move this down a little further. See if I can try and adjust the camera. Apologies for technical difficulties. Of course, you guys are accustomed to that by now if you're watched my channel for this long. Okay. So, open the box. Look at the artwork on the box. Beautiful, beautiful artwork on the box. Artwork in the box. I never actually keep any of this stuff, unfortunately. I used to try to, but honestly it just takes up too much space. There's only so much artwork stuff that I can save. I like to save the artwork cards over this. We got our oversized dice. Beautiful oversized dice. I like the coloring on this one. I think it's one of my favorite ones for coloring terms. The only one that I like more coloring wise is the Innistrad one that came with the gift bundle one, not the regular bundle, but the one that came out with like all the Jurassic Park themed stuff. That one actually had a really cool oversized die that had like the amber from the movie. I really like that one. I think that one's my favorite. But this one is a very close second. We have 3, 7. It came with 9 packs this time? Ooh, nice. I thought it only came with 8. They're all the same, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Bonus. I did not pay enough attention. So we're going to dive into those. We're going to talk about some channels. Let's do the lands first and get that out of the way. You'll notice I have a smile cookie. There's 1 day left if you live in Canada to go to Timmy's. Ooh, Tamir Battlecrier. During your turn, spells cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power. Ooh, that's damn awesome. Too bad that's not legendary. I would totally build a commander deck around that. Nice. You got the Shadowlands. Ooh, the island one is really pretty. I didn't realize this shadow was so big on the island one. I did have a swamp one already. And I think I had the mountain one. Forest one's really nice too. And then these are just regular ones. I was hoping they would give us some of the eyeball ones, but I guess you're only going to get those out of the collector ones. Which, I guess that makes sense. Give the whales something to be happy about, but it makes me sad. Because I'm definitely not going to be pulling any of those, probably. That one collector pack that I opened on the channel is probably the only one I'm planning to open on the channel. Those two will put over here in the pile of stuff that I eventually should throw away. Let's take one more moment to appreciate the art of these a little more slowly. The Plains is beautiful. The island is insanely gorgeous. I like the swamp. The mountain is pretty cool. The forest is very nice. These ones are okay. I like the island one here, and that one. Islands definitely always seem to have some of the best artwork. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe people just really like making them. That's a really nice swamp. That one's okay too. That's a pretty mountain. I like that there's a little dragon in the background and a little dude. That one's alright. These are not my favorite forests, to be honest, but they're decent. So anyways, as I was saying, Smile Cookies, sorry, I get distracted super easily. You noticed my ADHD is pretty off when I'm excited, and when we're celebrating, I'm excited. So, Smile Cookies, you go to Tim Hortons, you pay $2, and the entire money gets donated to Tim Hortons Camp, which is basically like a camp that is made available to children who can't afford necessarily to go to camp for the most part. And that's actually really cool. My former partner, whom I still care about a lot and who I consider a friend still, she was extremely influenced by this growing up. She attended the camps a lot, first off as a kid, and then she actually went back as a counselor. And it had a really important impact on her life, and I saw in her how awesome those camps were. I never got to experience it myself, but seeing through her how much that shaped the awesome person that she became, I want to support that. And I want to encourage you to support that. So if you live in Canada, or even if there's Tim Hortons in the States, which I think there are some, go out and buy a Timmy's cookie. Technically, when I post this, it'll probably be only available tomorrow still. But if you miss out on this campaign, make sure you get in on the next one. They're totally awesome. Okay, that's the last corporate shilling I'm going to do. What we'll do is, in between each pack, I'll talk about some channels that I like, and give them a shout out, and we'll just open the packs and get through this as an awesome video. Token first, don't want to spoil it. Warrior and Goblin. Okay, we'll keep the tokens down here. Can you see those? Yes, you can. Awesome. Move it up a little bit. We can move the cookie a little bit too. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do a Legends pile here. I'm going to do all of the stuff across the bottom here. From good, or stuff that I really like, to mid and poor. And like I say, Legends will keep by the packs. Okay, here we go. Roamer's Routine. Search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle, and it has Harmonize. Decent. Oops, those lands keep falling over because of the way I'm bending the space on the bed. I'll put them on top of the art. There we go. That's going to become a problem later, though. Dispelling Exile. Exhale, sorry. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may behold a dragon. Cool. I like the beholding idea. Counter target spell as the controller pays 2 or pay 4 if the dragon was shown. So, pretty solid in this set. Not so solid in other sets because there's not as many dragons in other sets, but definitely a cool counter spell for this set. I'm going to admit that. Bearer of Glory, I do like that card a lot because it has first strike on your turn. The only thing I don't like about it is how much it costs to do the +1/+1. So I will admit it because it was definitely a powerhouse in my pre-release, which you guys would have seen already, mostly. If you haven't seen that video, go check that out. But yeah, it's not going to probably do super well in Commander. Twin Bolt. Twin Bolt is decent though. Deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. And it's an instant. Definitely a solid card. Cruel Truth. Surveil 2, then draw 2, you lose 2 life. Okay. Cost 4, that's the only downside. But it's an instant, so I'm going to pump that to the top anyways, just because of that. Sagu Wildling I like. It lets you search your library for basic land, and then this gets shuffled back into your deck because of how Omen works. So you get to keep bringing out lands, which is awesome. Or you can play this as a creature, and you get a 3/3 flyer, which also gives you 3 life as it comes into play. Definitely worth putting in at the top. Timir Tawnyback. When this creature enters, draw a card, then discard a card. That I'm not as fond of. I like that it only costs 3 if you can pay each of the 1 colors, but otherwise, not super great. Oh, it's a 4/3. I'm still going to admit it, though. But, yeah. Shocking Sharpshooter. Reach. Whenever another creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. Kishla Skimmer. Flying. Whenever a creature leaves your graveyard during your turn, draw a card. Decent. Definitely good in the Sultai deck. Essence Acre. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1, create a 2/2 Plague Zombie Druid. I have a couple copies of that. It's a solid mid card. This guy is a solid mid card too. He costs 6 to come into play, but he gives a bunch of +1/+1 counters when he does. Definitely solid. Death Begets Life. Costs 8. Destroy all creatures and enchantments. Draw a card for each permanent destroyed this way. Huh. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that's a top-worthy card, but damn, that's expensive. Narset's Rebuke. By the way, accidental spoiler on that one, sorry. Deals 5 damage to target creature, and then you get to add Jeskai, and if that creature would die, it gets exiled. Costs 5, but it's an instant, so it gives you extra mana to spend on another spell if you're casting this on your opponent's turn. Or on your own, either way, but I'm just saying. If you need the extra mana for like another counter spell, you get it out of this, which is pretty cool. I'm going to top that. And a Wildscarred Crag, which gives you 1 life as it comes into play. Always solid to see those types of lands. I'm going to put the artwork down there. I'll keep the lands up there because I don't want the lands to keep falling down. Hopefully they don't fall over the other side. That's annoying when things fall back there. I can get them out. I figured out how, but it takes a bunch of effort. Alright, so before we open the next pack, first channel I want to shout out is a really cool channel called Candlebox Productions. Candlebox Productions is run by one of my best friends. Dude is doing some insanely awesome work. He does a lot of like grassroots campaigns and things like that, but he's also doing like marketing per se for like small businesses and local events and things. He does a lot of social media stuff, which is really cool. And his channel will be linked in the description, as will all the other ones I mentioned today. So I would really appreciate if you'd go and check out his channel for sure. It would blow his mind if you guys all subscribe to him per se today, let's say. I know that's not going to happen necessarily, but I mean, do check out his videos if you're interested in that sort of thing. And yeah, especially like I say, like it would be really good to help support him in trying to raise awareness for some of the things that he's doing. Like one of the videos he posted that I watched recently that I really like is one about raising awareness for well water that's being destroyed locally in his area, and what's not being done about it, and how there's protests being raised against the government, and it's pretty cool. It's very, very touching and in-depth stuff, and yeah, so please go check it out. Alright. Hope you guys do, and I hope he knows how much I love and appreciate him. We don't talk as often as I'd like to, but it means a lot to me that he tunes into my content, and I am definitely going to keep tuning into his as much as I can as well. We got a monk token, which is nice, because I definitely need one of those, and a bird. So either way, great token. Great token. So far, no bottom cards, which is good. Not that I want to jinx it. Alright. Sarkhan's Resolve. Pay 1 and a green, you get to either give a creature +3/+3, or target creature with flying gets destroyed. And that's going to be mid. It's great in dragons, because almost all dragons fly, but after that, it's going to be a hit or miss. Ringing Strike Mastery. Enchant creature, when this aura enters, tap enchanted creature doesn't untap, and you have to pay 5 to untap it. Damn. For 1, that's pretty solid. I'm going to put that top. Poise Practitioner. Flurry, whenever you cast your second spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and scry 1. Solid. You know what? It can go top. We're getting a lot of stuff that's very useful. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gets +1/+1, and you can pay 1 to add blue, red, or white, but you can only do it once per turn. So it's a filter creature, and in addition to that, it also gets powered up. And you don't have to tap it to get that ability, so that's nice. I'm going to mid that. It has multiple uses in one turn. It's pretty solid. Alicia's Legacy. A card I love. Target creature gets Death Touch and Indestructible. Who doesn't love that kind of combo? Ooh, new dragon. Boulder-born dragon. Flying Vigilance. Whenever it attacks, surveil one. Nice. Costs 5 to put in play, which is a little harsh, but you're getting a lot of value out of it, even though it's only a 3/3, so I'm going to top that. Rebellious Strike. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Draw a card. Mid. Ooh, this one's a new one for me. Dragonclaw Strike. Double the power and toughness of target creature you control until end of turn, then it fights up to... Ooh, damn! Costs 6 to play it, unless you can pay the right colors, but I think that one's better than the other one that we saw earlier that did the same sort of idea. I'm going to top that one. Overwhelming Surge. Either deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target non-creature artifact. I'm going to mid that. If it targeted any artifact, I would top that, but I'm going to mid that. Fresh Start. Flash, enchanted creature gets -5, -0, and loses all abilities. Damn! Top. Nature's Rhythm. Nice. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X. I pulled a really beautiful full hollow one out of the collector's pack of this, but it's nice to have an extra copy of this for sure. Ooh, there's a little bit of damage on that one. Oh, nope. It's just got something attached to it. We're okay. Yasan Roadwatcher. Cost 4 to put into play. He would go in my Abzan deck if I wanted to use him. When this creature enters, if you cast it, mill 4 cards. When you do, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Decent. Very decent. He's only useful in the one deck, though, which is kind of harsh, so I'm going to mid him. Because I think I have like 2 Abzan decks. And I don't know whether it would work super well it would work well in the one that I don't want to change. The artwork on this Evolving Wilds is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous card. And we have Thornwood Falls. Another life-gaining land. Cool. Double lands in that pack. Pardon me while I take a small bite out of my cookie and have a Coke drink. So the next channel I want to shout out, I've shouted out on this channel before, but I'm still following him. I still think his content's great. I still think he's a funny guy that you guys will all think is hilarious if you give him a shot, and that is Professor Trillium. Professor Trillium does magic content. He is the spouse of a good friend of mine from university. And he's actually also a teacher, which is pretty cool. So I have a connection with him on multiple fronts. We were both I used to be a teacher, so we both have that connection. We're connected through a spouse, and we both have a love of card games. So I often shout out his channel when I can. Definitely go give his channel a shot if you like Pokemon cards, and even if you don't, I think you'll still find him funny. We got the Spirit Token. That one, we've gone consistently. I'd like to get a couple more Monk ones, to be honest. Those are useful. And I only have that one, I think, so far. Alright, we start with a Ringing Strike Mastery again. Another big pull. Poise Practitioner. This is like a highlights from the last one. Did I put you before on top or on the middle? I can't remember. I put you top before. I'm going to keep you there. That is the better place. We got another one of those. Ooh, Champion of Doosan. Something new, finally. 4/2 Trample. Not that we didn't get anything good. We definitely got a lot of good stuff. And it has Renew. I do love that. The Renew ability is really cool in this set. I don't know if it was in other sets before. I've never seen it before, I don't think. But I really like this mechanic. You exile whatever the heck you're renewing, and then you put a +1/+1 counter and an ability counter that it has the ability of onto a creature of your choice. So essentially, whatever the text is up here, that's going to get added to whatever creature you choose when you exile this, which is pretty cool. I'm going to put him on top because of how good his ability is. Jadecast Sentinel. Reach, pay 2, tap, put a card of some sort from your graveyard onto the bottom of your library. Oh no, it can be anybody's. Ooh, nice. It's a 1/5. Solid. Ooh, Monastery Messenger. Bird Scout. Flying Vigilance. When this creature enters, put up to one target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. That's a really cool card. Even though it has the same issues with the costs that I've been talking about, I'm still going to put that one top. I know which deck I'm going to put that one into, probably. Zergo's Vanguard. Mobilize 1. I do love Mobilize. This creature's power is equal to the number of creatures you... Ooh, damn! The Dog Soldier is powerful. So Mobilize, when this thing attacks, it creates a 1-1, which also attacks, which is pretty cool. The only thing that sucks is you have to sacrifice that 1-1 at the end of the turn. But I'm still going to top you. Ooh, Whirlwind Stormbrood. Another new dragon. For me, Sorcery, Bowman, put 3 +1/+1 counters on the target creature you control. Solid. Or you can flash it in with flying, and you may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells as though they had flash. What in the world? How is that only a rare? Damn! Sometimes I get so confused about how they decide what cards are ranked what. Or no, that's not even rare, that's an uncommon. That's even worse. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic mountain, plains, or swamp. Reveal it and put in your hand. Then you can pay 2 and Mardu, tap this, sacrifice it, create 3 1/1 red warrior soldier tokens to gain mana and haste until end of turn. Not bad. I'll put it as a mid. Ooh, Great Arshan City. Enters tapped unless you control a forest or plain. You get to add black. You pay 1 in black, exile a creature card from your graveyard, and create a 1/1 white. Ooh, nice. I like that a lot. That's going in my spirit deck. That is very nice. Ooh, Naga Fleshcrafter. That could also be going in something. You can have it enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Awesome. And you can pay 2 in blue to exile it from your graveyard to put a +1/+1 counter on a non-legendary creature you control. And each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. Holy crap. That thing is insane. That might be the pull of the day so far. In fact, we're going to make an extra section. We'll put the little dice over here. So we'll put the legendaries still right beside those, but the current pull of the day is going to go here, and it's that. Ameling Stormshell. Ward 2. Whenever this creature attacks, put 3 stun counters on it and draw 3 cards. Okay, not bad. And whenever you cast a turtle spell, you can untap it. It's a 5/9 for 5? Okay, you just went to the top. You're not better than the snake, but you're still pretty damn good. And we got a mountain. You can disagree with me if you want. I don't think the turtle's better than the snake. I think that snake is insane, especially with the renew ability. Alright. Next I'm going to shout out a series of channels, because all these channels do the same kind of thing, and they're all really, really cool because of how they do the same thing as me, but they're also unique to me. And I think that makes them awesome. So we got Pack Ripper MTG, who always likes to rip that pack. He always has a pack displayed, and whenever he hits a milestone, he reveals that pack, and that's pretty awesome. We've got Cooper MTG. I like what he's doing over on his channel. Also ripping some good packs. MTG Rips is doing some good packs too. Both those guys they do like long form videos, and then they take those long form videos and turn them into shorts. Or no, that's just Cooper actually. Cooper does that. MTG Rips is really cool. He just rips into packs too, like Pack Ripper does. But yeah, they're both like, they have their own style, and the way they do it is really neat. All 3 of those channels are awesome. Slavana is a really neat one too. He rips into like old Magic packs, like things I've never seen before, and his channel is awesome for that. And then the one I really definitely wanted to shout out two. Not that the other ones aren't worth shouting out, don't get me wrong, I love all of them. But I just discovered this guy. He's a local-ish to me, northeastern Ontario. Far North Magic. Also ripping into packs, doing some fun stuff. He buys them by the box, it looks like. I've only seen a few of his videos so far, but we've had a decent conversation. He's a pretty cool guy. So, shouting out to all those guys. They all have really good Magic content. Definitely check out their content. I easily see at least one video from each of them a day, probably. And it's a lot of good times. Good times. Definitely worth it. Alright, we got soldier tokens and a soldier token. Soldier. Alright, Teamer Devotee. Defender, pay 1, and you get green, red, or blue. That one I'm going to put in the middle because it has the Defender. And it's not in the right deck for Defender, to be honest. Tempest Hawk. Flying, whenever a creature deals combat damage... This creature, deals combat damage to a player, you can search your library for a card named... Oh, it's only good in Standard then. Oh, no, wait. A deck can have any number of Tempest Hawks? Oh, that's insane. That just went right to the top. Still not beating the Snake. The Snake is definitely my favorite pull so far today, though. Underfoot Underdogs. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Pay 1, tap this, target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Decent. Mid. Caustic Exhale. Pay black. As an additional cost, either behold a dragon or pay an additional 1, and target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Mid. Crotic Nestguard. Defender. Pay 2 and a green. This creature can attack as though it doesn't have a defender. It's a 4/4? I'm gonna admit it. Stormshake Feral. Discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. And the dragon side, Flying Haste, pay 1 and a red, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Not bad. Because of the Omen ability, I'll put it up top. But only because of the Omen ability. I don't actually think the dragon is as good as some of the other ones. You know what? It's been bugging me. I'm going to put the turtle over here with the snake. They can share the spot for now because they're both equally awesome. In their own ways. Watcher of the Wayside. When this creature enters, target player mills 2 cards, you gain 2 life. It's okay. Is that still on if I do that? Yes. Move these up a little. There we go. Okay. Starry-Eyed Skyrider. Flying, whenever this attacks, target creature you control gains flying until end of turn. Attacking tokens you control are flying. Damn! I mean, that's definitely going up top. I'm just wondering if that's better than the 2 cards I have up in the top spot. Or whether it's just going here. I think it's just going here for now. Yeah. I have a lot of tokens decks though, so that's definitely going to be useful in a lot of decks. Skirmish Rhino. I've seen a lot of people play this or I saw this played on Tolarian, and it looked really cool. I'm glad I pulled one. Trample, and when it enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. If you can put this in a deck that has Flicker, that's insanely funny. And it only costs 3 to play, so I'm definitely putting that up top. I'm going to put this one over here with the top pulls. Inspirited Vanguard. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, it endures 2. It gets 2 +1/+1 counters, or you get a 2/2 white spirit creature token. Costs 5 to play, but once you got it out there, it's doing its damn job. Bewildering Blizzard. Draw 3 cards. Creature your opponent's control get -3/-0 until end of turn. It costs 6 to play. if it didn't cost so much to play, if it had Convoke something, I would say top, but it's going mid. Mox Jasper! We pulled the Mox Jasper! Sorry, you guys are probably trying to see the art. It actually has the dragon texture too. It's not foil, but still, that is insane. This is worth some money, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And I'm building a 5-color dragon deck, so this is perfect for that deck. I am super pumped, and you three just got bumped down, and you just got the top pull of the day. There's not even an argument, and I don't think anybody in the comments can argue with me either. Okay, to be fair, that's in terms of value. Let's put that there. Smiley Cookie is slowly falling off the mat. Is he still on the video? He is. I'm also eating him, so that's kind of sad too. I was tempted not to eat it. I was going to try and avoid just not eating it throughout the video and leave it there so that you guys could see the smiles throughout the whole video, but I'm really hungry. I'm sorry. Coordinated maneuver. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker, or you can destroy target enchantment. It only costs 2 to play, and it's an instant, so it's going up top. And Blossoming Sands, you get a life. I do love life games. Aside from Scrylands, no, actually, I don't even think Surveil lands are better for me. I like Scrylands, then Life Gain lands, then Surveil lands. I, of course, only have the 2 fetch lands, so I can't really say I love fetch lands because I don't really have a lot of them. I actually have 3. I discovered the other day, I was going through my collection, I actually have an old fetch land I didn't even realize I had. Ooh, Reliquary Dragon. Token creature dragon. It's all colors. Flying lifelink. When this creature enters, it deals 3 damage. Neat. That's a very nice token. Hopefully we pull this in this pack. Maybe that's a sign of good luck. Oh, I forgot to shout out channel before I started. I apologize. This is where I'm going to shout out Force of Will. Force of Will is a local guy like me. We both actually go to Paradox TCG, so that's how I know him. And he does Magic live streaming and stuff. Or not Magic, sorry, Pokemon live streaming and stuff. Really cool guy, very chill. And I just wanted to shout out his channel because, like I say, we both go to the same LGS, and it's awesome that we're both doing YouTube stuff. And I think that it's great to give props to people who are in your circle kind of thing, you know what I mean? And besides that, it gives me a chance to shout out the name of the store a whole bunch at the same time, which is cool. So, yeah, go check out Force of Will. He's doing streams often. And, yeah, you'll enjoy it if you like Pokemon content. Champion of Doosan, we've already seen. I already put up top, in the top pile per se, but... Agent of Kodos. The 2-1, it only has Renew, and it only gives you 2+1/+1 counters. And the Renew cost is 4. This is the first card that I might put to the bottom. I'll put it in the middle just because of the counters being doubled, but otherwise it would go in the bottom for sure. A 3/3 Flying Soldier with Mobilize 1 is pretty solid for 4. I'll put that up top. Fire Rim Form. Flash. Enchant creature. When this aura enters, enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn, and it has +2/+0, as long as this has it attached. Decent. Dragon's Play. Costs 2 more to cast if it targets a dragon, otherwise you're destroying a creature for 2 and a black. That's terrible. Snakeskin Veil is awesome. Gives the creature hexproof until end of turn, and it gives it a +1/+1 counter for 1. Dragonstorm Globe. Each dragon you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and it taps for 1 mana of any color. Solid for a dragon deck, not for anything else. I'm gonna mid that. Equilibrium Adept. When it enters, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you can play that card. And whenever you cast your second spell, each turn this creature gets double strike. Ooh, damn. Not bad. I'm going to admit that. Twin Maw Stormbrood. Gets 5 damage to a creature without flying, but it's a sorcery, so not as good. And 6 for a flying 5/4. When this creature enters, you gain 5 life. I'm going to put that mid. Dragonstorm Forecaster. Pay 2, search your library for a card named Dragonstorm Globe or Boulder-Born Dragon. I have conveniently pulled both of those today. I'm going to put that in the mid. It's definitely useful for the globe. I'm not really sure why I want to pull the other one. I can't remember what it did. I'll have to go back through and look at it later. Rakshasa's Bargain. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Solid. Solid. But I'm still going to admit it because of the cost. Actually, no. You know what? It's an instant. I'm going to top it. It gains that power because of the instant. Sage of the Skies. When you cast it, if you cast another spell this turn, you copy it. You get a flying lifelink 2/3. I'm going to admit that. It's definitely awesome. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be more awesome if that creature had prowess. Unending Whisper. Draw a card, harmonize 5 and a blue. The harmonize cost kind of sucks, but otherwise, you're getting 1 card for 1 mana at sorcery speed. I'm going to admit it. And we get another land that gives us a life. Yay! We have 4 packs left. And we're 42 minutes in. Holy crap. Hopefully you guys are hanging out with me. I apologize. Next up, I gotta shout out Matt Cave Gaming. I mean, the guy is awesome. He does retro video game stuff, which is really cool. Right now he's doing Final Fantasy playthroughs on his channel, which he's finishing up soon, but he's in chapter 15, I believe, right now. And his daughter recently got into it, which is also really cool. So, yeah, it's like, what I really like about him is, like, he's, like, very, you can connect with him. Like, he's, like, a real, like, person. Like, he's not, like, detached personality on the YouTube. He's, like, a person, like, you could see yourself running into in the street and talking to him, and he'd be the exact same person. And I think that's awesome. I really like that. Plus, he is, always, like, talking to me in his comments and responding to my comments, and like, I love how much engagement I get with him. I get a lot of that engagement with a lot of these other people that I've already mentioned too, but he's one of the more recent people that I've met, and he's made me a very positive person about my YouTube stuff, and I think his push is what finally got me over the finish line to the 50 subscribers, so I definitely wanted to shout him out. The card is caught in the pack. That's not good. Goblin. Which means there's a warrior. Yes. Well, at least these are consistent. Most of the time, whatever you pulled on the front, you can guess what's on the back. So far, our money card is definitely the Mox Jasper, and these are definitely our best playing cards. We haven't pulled any legendary creatures yet, though, which is interesting. The Nest Guard, I believe we put mid before, and I'm going to keep it there. Highspire Bellringer. The second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. That's decent. That's going top. Ozarus Exhale. You can behold a dragon when you cast it. If you do, it deals 5 damage to target creature that's attacking or blocking, plus you gain 2 life. If not, it just deals the damage. I'm gonna admit it. Molten Exhale. Same idea, you show a dragon, and it'll deal 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. It doesn't say anything else about whether... Oh, you can cast it as though it had flash if you show the dragon. Okay, so you can cast it at instant speed. I'm going to still admit that. Worthy cost. As an initial cost, you sacrifice a creature, exile target creature or planeswalker. That is something that I'm always fond of doing. The only thing that's going to put this in mid is because it's sorcery speed. Earth Carver. Unburied. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this thing. It's always good to have a sack outlet, but I don't like the fact that it costs 2 to do it. I'm going to admit it. Reputable Merchant. When it enters or dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Mid. Ooh, Opulent Palace. That's a solid land to pull. It's always good to pull a Trinome. Always. Strategic Burial. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. Ooh, shit, for 2? I don't care that that's sorcery speed. That's impressive. Rally the Rally the Monastery, sorry. Cost 2 less to cast if you cast another spell this turn, and you can either create 2 1/1 monk creature tokens with prowess. Up to 2 target creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn, or you destroy a target creature with power 4 or greater. Costs 4 to play, but 2 less if you cast something else at instant speed. That gets complicated. I'm going to mid that. Ooh, Fangkeeper's Familiar. That's always a fun one to pull. Because you can either get 3 life and surveil 3, destroy an enchantment, or counter target spell, and it has flash, so you can actually do it at instant speed. It only costs 4 to play. I think I did this as a mid before, but I'm going to put it at the top of the pile this time. Dragonback Assault. When it enters, it deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Damn! Whenever a land enters the... Ooh, shoot! Well, that's going up here. It's not better than that, but it's definitely one of the better playable ones from the day, for sure. Definitely for my dragon deck. We already pulled this one. Did we pull this one in the same pack? We might have. It's a really good card. And life gaining. 3 packs to go. Can we pull another fetch land? Show that we truly are the master of the lands. Or the lord of the lands, I think is what I called myself before. Next up, before I go on, I want to shout out a channel that is near and dear to my heart because I was there when it first started out, and I'm so happy that he's found so much success and blown up so huge, and that's Random Film Talk. I was like one of the first people there when they originally started, when he started getting really big. I attended a lot of his original live streams. I've missed a bunch of the most recent ones just because of the weird hours I work. I can never make live streams, it seems, anymore for most people. But he is an awesome guy. He does really good content with his wife sometimes, other times just by himself. He reviews different movies and TV shows. He also does video game playthroughs live on his channel. And yeah, I can proudly say that I'm one of the first randos that ever joined the channel, and I still think he's one of the most awesome content creators out there. So yeah, shout out to Random, and please go check out his channel too if you like film reviews and stuff. Especially if you want to see somebody tear into the Lord of the Rings, the stupid Amazon show. I apologize if you like the Amazon show, but it's really bad. I'm sorry. You're more than welcome to like what you like, but in terms of story writing, it is bad. Okay. So he tore that apart really well, and that's what actually blew up his channel, so definitely go check him out, please. Here we go. Shock Brigade. Menace. Mobilize 1. It's a goblin? Heck yes. Abzan Devotee. Pay 1 and you filter for the color you want. Pay 2 and a black. Return it from your graveyard to your hand. Deece. Actually, you know what? In the right... Yeah, I'm going to admit that. It requires an extra piece for it to be really good, like a Sir Conrad, or if it's in my Abzan deck, then it's amazing. This guy is in my Abzan deck, and he's not bad. He's not bad at all. Focus the Mind. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you cast another spell this turn. It's another one of these weird ones. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. Mardu Devotee. When it enters, scry 2, and then you can filter for Mardu. Decent. Meticulous Artisan. Prowess. Whenever a creature enters... No, whenever this creature enters, you create a treasure token. So you want to flicker this thing. It costs 4 to play, but it's 3/3. Decent. Decent. I'm going to put it... Nah, I'm going to admit it. Ambermouth Sentinel. When it enters, you may search your library for a basic land, reveal it, shuffle, put that card on top. If you control a dragon, you get to put it onto the battlefield tapped instead. It costs 2 to play this, and it's only really good in a dragon deck, because otherwise it's going to the top of your deck, and then you're basically spending your next draw phase getting a land, not knowing whether you're going to have a land afterwards anyways, and just have basically wasted the turn. I'm going to admit it. Encroaching Dragonstorm. Enters, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. Ooh, and when a dragon enters, you get to put this back in your hand. That's going top. Even if you don't have dragon, that's still really good. You can probably flicker that or find some way to get it at least into play more than once in a game. Iridescent Tiger. When this creature enters, if you cast it, you get to add Wooburg. Nice. I would love to put that in my cat deck, except for the fact that I don't think you can because of his ability conflicting with commander rules. But I'm not too sure. Somebody let me know in the comments whether I can actually play that in a 3-color deck, or whether I have to put it in a 5-color deck. Still a decent card, though. Sandsteep Citadel? Trinome? Yes, please. Teeming Dragonstorm. Oh, I do love this card. I have a copy of this card from my, I had that, actually I had 2 copies of that in my, pre-release deck. But I did not have this beautiful artwork version of it. Definitely an amazing pull. Quarry Mountain Monastery. Enters tapped unless you control a plains or island. Add red. Pays 3 and a red. Exile the top card of your library until your next turn you can play that card. That's a solid land. Still not a fetch land, but a solid one. Unburied Earth Carver. Solid. And Tranquil Heart Cove. Alright, 2 packs to go. 2 channels to shout. This next one, I haven't actually tuned into their content for a couple of months, I'll admit that, but their content is still some of the most amazing stuff I've ever seen on the internet if you like artwork, and if you are into trading cards. This person, I don't actually know her name, but she does an amazing job of combining the two into the most impressive, some of the most impressive, like, re-art designs of cards that you'll ever see. She does a lot of, like, the etching with an X-Acto knife and stuff like that. Awesome channel called Art of the Cards. I'm pretty sure she originally started with Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and she mostly focuses on Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but she does do other games too, so... And I believe she sells all the cards that she creates. So if you're into anything that she's made, definitely check her out and hit her up. We're getting an art card this time instead of a token. Ooh, beautiful art card. Maybe that's a sign of good luck. Put it there. Bearer of Glory? Not so far. Twin Bolt? Decent. Cruel Truce, we said before, I think we were putting that in mid because it cost too much, but no, I think I moved it over there because of the instant speed. Sagu, solid. Tamir Devotee, not so much. Reputable Merchant, okay. Dusyat Earthcarver. Reach, and whenever this creature enters, it endures 3. Damn. So when this thing enters, although it's a 6 cost, which sucks, but when it enters, you're going to get 3 +1/+1 counters on it, or you're going to get a 3/3 spirit creature next to it. Solid. I'm going to put it up top. It costs a lot, but it's worth it. Whale of War. Creatures your opponents control, target opponent controls, get -1/-1 until end of turn. Or return 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. At instant speed, that's decent. That's decent. Disruptive Stormbrood. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less at sorcery speed. Or flying, and when it enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. I'm going to put that up top just because it can actually be very versatile. You can destroy whatever you need to at the time you play it. And if you do play it for the sorcery speed one, then you get to reshuffle into your deck and do another turn. So, solid, all around. Spectral Denial. Cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control of power 4 or greater. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Damn! That's pretty powerful in the right deck. Ooh. I'm not really sure why the Mystic Monastery is a ship in this version, but I like it. Very pretty. And another Trinome. Ooh, we got Zergo, Thunder's Decree. Finally, a legendary creature. Mobilize 2 during your instant. Oh, this is the other commander. Nice! I wanted to get him. Yes! That definitely is going over here. You are getting pushed over a little further. This kitty is a pretty solid kitty. I do like this kitty. And that forest is okay. Alright. We're getting to the end of this. I'm sorry it's taking so long. I couldn't help celebrating. I did eat a couple bites of the cookie, but for the most part we still have the smile intact. Go smile cookies. They do taste really good. It's not that I don't like eating it, I just wanted to keep this video going. Because I also need to get to bed. This weekend's going to be rough. I've got to do first aid training, so I'm trying to make the videos in and around that while also taking time to make sure that Kaiba is taken care of, and it's going to be a very long weekend. But I'm going to make a ton of money, so at least it's worth it. In terms of I can set aside a bunch of money for whatever I need for Kaiba and other stuff. Like my car, which apparently might need some repairs. Anyways. For the last shout out, I have 2 channels I want to shout out actually. Both of them are doing the same thing. Little known fact about me that you might not know yet. I love horror content. I like horror movies, I like horror video games, I like watching it. Playing it, not as much, just because I get jump scared really easily and then that affects my asthma sometimes, but ultimately, still a fun time. And these 2 channels have both done playthroughs of a game that I really like called Fears to Fathom. Fears to Fathom is supposed to be like these 5 survival stories that have been turned into games, which these 2 channels both played through the stories, and their content was really hilarious, top notch, and they don't have very many subscribers. They're actually the only 2 channels that I'm shouting out today that actually have less subscribers than me. So, if you like that sort of thing, definitely tune into them and give them a subscribe. It would really be cool to boost their numbers a bit. The first is Cookie with a Hat, and the second is Scary Sheep 666. So like I say, both of them really funny channels. I enjoyed their Fears to Fathom playthroughs thoroughly. If you've ever seen Fears to Fathom and you enjoy watching other people play through that, you're really going to like those two. And with that said, let's finish this off. Oh, right, legendary. I don't know why I didn't put that there. So, we pulled one legendary from this box. We pulled one amazing card that's probably worth, I'm hoping, like 40 or 50 bucks, to be honest. Not that I'm going to sell it, but it's really nice when we pull something that is actually worth some money, in addition to the stuff that's worth value to me. Because then you guys are like, way cool, you pulled like the big hit. Now, of course, I haven't pulled the big hit yet. What I would really like to pull, and this is the final pack, so I'm going to jinx myself here, knock on wood though anyways, is of course the Ugin or the Elspeth. We got a copy token and a monk token. Nice. So let's see if we can pull one of those two. Focus the Mind. We've already seen that one. It was really confusing. That's why it's mid. Mardu Devotee. We midded him. Meticulous Artisan. I think I put that up top. Feral Deathgorger. That's a first for today, but I've pulled this before and I really like this one. You get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control and draw a card at sorcery speed, but it's still great to do that on your turn. And then if you don't want to do that, you get a Flying Death Touch, and when it enters, you exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. So a great way to get rid of a couple problem things in somebody else's graveyard, or if you want to get something out of your own graveyard. And you get a 3/5 with Flying and Death Touch for 6, which is pretty solid. Plus, because it's black on both, you can put it in any deck that has black, which is great. Some of the other ones that have the mixed colors, you can only put them in certain decks, which is limiting. Piercing Exhale. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. If a dragon was beheld, you surveil 2. Not bad. Instant speed. I'll put it up top. Watcher of the Wayside. Enters. Target player mills 2 cards and then you gain 2 life. I think we minted that before. Wingspan Stride. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, has flying. And you can pay 2 and a blue to return this to your hand. I'm not sure if you can return this from your graveyard to your hand. I think it has to specifically say that, so it's probably from the field to your hand. But it's still great. You can save this if the creature that gets targeted with this is like destroyed. I like that. Attuned Hunter. Trample whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on this. Huh. That thing can get pretty big in the right deck. I'm going to mid it for net. Actually, no. I'm going to put it there. Screw it. I know some decks that thing will be awesome in. 2 and a blue for a Flying Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell, you get a bird. Nice. That's actually going here. Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Flurry, whenever you cast your second spell, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. Also going over here. Abzan Monument. I think we've already seen that. Nope, we had a different monument before. Pay 1 and a Mart and Abzan. Tap this, sacrifice it to create an XX white spirit creature token where X is the greatest toughness. Huh. That's pretty solid. Only works in the right deck though, but still solid. Nice, we pulled the Quarry Steelcutter. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, trample and haste, and whenever you cast your second spell, you get to create a monk with prowess. And then you can attach this to it if you want to. Lie in Wait. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. This deals damage equal to that card's power to target creature. For 3, that's really solid. And another life gain land. Alright. I mean, it wasn't the most amazing box ever. Definitely seen some people pull some more amazing stuff than I have. But I didn't pull crap, which is really nice. We got one card that I don't think I could use for any particular reason. And it's mostly just because of how much it costs if you want to target a dragon. If you don't want to target a dragon, it's not bad, but it just seems silly that it costs 2 extra to target a dragon. Anyways, we got an awesome legendary. We got a beautiful artwork, and I think we'll just zoom in on that. And pull away. And we will go over here. And Kaiba, do you want to take us out? Thanks, humans, for tuning in. I'm very tired now. It's getting late. Much love to you all from me. You take care. Please subscribe. Please like. Please mention me in the comments because I am the best and I am the star of the channel and you all know it.